Welcome back to Panther Sports Talk. Drag Nick Borre, the junior center, out of class here. He's waving to the crowd. I apologize. It's hot out here, as you can tell. If you don't see the heat coming off the ground as we get ready to head up to Minnesota, you'll definitely see the sweat on our face by the time it gets done. But, Nick, one of the big questions in camp, and you're the center, so we kind of took this angle with you, is who's going to be the starting quarterback? And while I'm not going to ask you to name whether it's going to be Jalen Whitlow or Andrew Manley, I guess tell me a little bit about what each of them maybe does a little bit differently that's going to make you guys have two weapons this year.
Well, to begin with, we've had Andrew since the spring last year, and he's the typical stand in the pocket, and he will throw all over the defense, and he will tear them apart with his arm. We love him. He's a great guy, great family guy. Jalen came in this past spring, transferred in, and he's a runner. He can take the ball and he can run just like any running back, and we're proud to block for him and we're happy for him. So we definitely do have two styles of offense this year with two different guys, and we're really excited to throw both of them at Minnesota.
Now, you talk about that from an offensive line standpoint. You guys, it will make you have different assignments. Is there one as an offensive lineman, a style that I guess you prefer, not necessarily a quarterback, but a style that you prefer as an offensive lineman?
Well, we prefer to never have a quarterback get hit either way. So when Jalen runs the ball, we don't like it, but it gives us an opportunity to really hit the defensive lineman harder than we've ever hit before. As in Manley, we kind of, pass set more often and sit back there and protect him as long as we can. So it's a little bit different, but it's very exciting either way.
Now, also a different offensive style for you guys. Gone is Coach Babers and his offensive staff. In comes Coach Dameron and offensive coordinator Greg Stevens, who also runs a hurry up. And I think the video game numbers last year, and I've heard that quote from several people, it's not just me making it up, we're so far out of reach compared to where a lot of teams were. But you look at what Coach Stevens did at Southeast Louisiana and his track record, and you guys aren't going to fall off tremendously in terms of point production and yardage.
Correct. I mean, the way you got to look at it is football's football. You run the ball and you pass the ball. We still have our hurry-up offense that we had last year. It's going to be a little bit different, obviously, because we have the new coaches, but still fast-paced, hard-hitting, scoring touchdowns. That's what we're going to do.
Now, you guys bring in a veteran offensive line coach and Mike Markison, who has coached some guys, and one of the names that a lot of people have heard is the blind side, the young man Michael Orr. So he's got some knowledge. It's got to be a good resource for you as an offensive lineman to be able to kind of pick his brain a little bit.
Oh, to be with Coach Markison is huge. He's a great guy. He really gets after us. He knows how to push us, and he's got technique that is flawless. Coming in with him, it's just it's really exciting for me personally just to be coached by a guy that's, he knows it all. He's a great coach.
Now, part of the offensive line is really, the theory is to gel during the course of the season. The better that you guys can gel, the faster you can gel. Usually the more successful the offensive line is. Last year, two new guys in the starting offensive unit, and that was you as the starting center at San Diego State and Jimmy Lowry. I guess take us a little bit about through that scenario and how that situation was. Your first college game as a starter, and you guys get a big win at San Diego State.
That was huge. I can't lie, I was pretty nervous, obviously, for my first start. We had a lot of good guys behind us and with us, and we pulled out the win. And it's going to be the same for the two new starters this year that we have, Evan Cans to the right of me, and then Adolphus Barnes at the left tackle. And we're going up to Minnesota on Big Ten Network, and we're all very excited to go out and hit people.
Now, you talk about that. Evan Cans got some snaps last year. Kind of was a versatile guy. Him and Eric Lurson have battled for that spot, and it looks like Evan has kind of pulled away here the last couple days heading into the week. You have Adolphus Barnes out at the other tackle. They're both crucial positions, but from a center who's the kind of the quarterback, which of the two do you feel you're going to have to do a little bit more coaching in that unit to make sure that you guys are successful?
Honestly, my favorite part about these two guys that are up right now is that I trust them fully, both of them. Evan is right next to me, so he's a little more crucial to me just because of position-wise. He's literally right next to me, and then Adolphus out to the left has Colin, who's a 4-year starter now. So I have a lot of faith in Colin helping him out, and then on the inside it'll be me and Evan.
Now, one of the other questions I've always thought about for centers, and it's a little bit different for you guys, is you don't ever ask you what's your preference and type of defense you play. I mean, you guys play 4-3s, you play 3-4s, some other scenarios from there. As a center, is there one that you kind of are happier to play? Does it make your life a little bit easier maybe to have, is it one guy straight ahead of you than the 3-4 that's good, or do you like the 4-3 because you're going to have some help?
I like going against the 4-3 defense just because it allows me to pick on the little linebackers, so that's fun. The head-up nose is also fun just because I can prove to myself and everybody else that, with snapping the ball, I can, beat the guy right up in front of me.
Now, we talk about the Jimmy Garoppolos, the Eric Lors, and you guys were part of that success too. I know they got a lot of the accolades. The offensive line was crucial to that in terms of giving Jimmy time to connect with Eric and the other guys. But you guys, other than losing Jimmy and Eric, you have a lot of weapons coming back, and I think people overlook how good the run game was with Taylor Duncan and Shepard Little, and you guys are a big part of that.
Yeah, I mean, last year against Jacksonville State, we broke our Eastern rushing record. We had 3 backs, and we have 4 backs returning, and all phenomenal backs. Taylor Duncan will run people over, and Shepard will just outrun everybody. We have backups too that can fill in a spot just like that, and we're very excited to run the ball.
All right, and last question, I'll make it a little fun for you. Favorite superhero, is that Batman? Is that why this is the shirt for the first day of school?
True. I have to always be Batman. If you can be Batman, you always got to be Batman.
All right, reminder, you can watch Nick and the rest of the EIU Panthers in action on Thursday night, 6 o'clock up at Minnesota. We'll be right back with more Panther Sports Talk right here on WIU.